Have you ever noticed how sometimes we feel small without even knowing why? You wake up fine, start your day, but all it takes is opening your phone and seeing someone's perfect life, a trip, a new car, a fit body, a promotion at work, and suddenly, doubt creeps in. Where did I go wrong? That's when one of the most dangerous and silent poisons of adult life shows up: comparison. It doesn't shout, it doesn't warn you. It sneaks in quietly, but it's powerful enough to make you question everything you've already achieved. And the worst part, it distracts you from what matters most, your own path. The truth is, no one posts about overdue bills, sleepless nights, or silent breakdowns. You see the stage, but not the backstage. And while you're comparing yourself to someone else's chapter 20, you forget that you're still writing your chapter 3, and that's okay. Life isn't a 100-meter sprint, it's a marathon, and everyone has their own pace. Some arrive faster, others pause, breathe, and then keep going. And some restart at 40, 50, 60, and still win. So instead of asking yourself, why don't I have what they have? Try asking, what have I already achieved that deserves to be celebrated? Because real progress isn't about how far you've come compared to others. It's about how much you've grown compared to who you were yesterday. Robert Kiyosaki often says that the most valuable asset we have is not money, it's time. And unfortunately, many people treat that asset as if it were infinite. How many times have you told yourself, I'll deal with that later? Next year I'll start. One day I'll invest, start a business, study finance. But time passes, and unlike money, time doesn't come back. Postponing your dreams is like leaving a seed unwatered, hoping it'll grow on its own. The ground hardens, the sun scorches it, and by the time you realize, the opportunity has dried up. Kiyosaki teaches that financial freedom requires action. It's not about how much you earn, it's about what you do with what you have today. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and starting, even with little, because while you wait for the perfect moment, compound interest is already working, but for those who started before you. Many people live in the someday cycle, but those who build wealth live in the today cycle. Today you learn something new. Today you take the first step. Today you plant the seed that will bear fruit in the future. It doesn't matter if you're 25 or 55. What matters is not letting another year pass, just making plans. Life doesn't wait. Dreams don't fulfill themselves. They need action, planning, and courage. So instead of asking, is this the right time? Ask, what's stopping me from starting now? Because the only way to build a different future is by starting in the present. Robert Kiyosaki teaches, no one will care more about your money than you do. And that applies to life as a whole. A lot of people spend years waiting for someone to solve their problems. They wait for the government to change, for the boss to recognize them, for the family to help, for a partner to take charge. But the more you hand your destiny over to others, the more fragile you become. Relying entirely on others is like building your house on rented land. You might live there, but you never have control. If the owner decides to change the rules, you lose everything. It's the same in your financial life. If you trust too much in the advice of someone who's never built anything, if you expect someone to tell you what to do with your paycheck, if you think someone else will invest for you, save for you, work for you, you're planting disappointment. Kiyosaki often speaks about developing financial intelligence. That means understanding that you are primarily responsible for your results, and at the same time, learning to build a healthy support network with people who encourage you to grow, not keep you dependent. It's not about living isolated, but about becoming the protagonist of your own story. Not waiting for a savior, but becoming the architect of your own freedom. And freedom isn't just having money in your pocket. It's being able to choose who you walk with, where you work, where you live without fear, without invisible chains, without needing anyone's permission. So ask yourself today, Am I building my independence or just waiting for someone to rescue me? Because in the end, those who don't take the helm get carried away by the tide. Robert Kiyosaki often says that mistakes are just teachers in disguise, but only those who are willing to listen can learn. And to listen, you need humility. Pride is tricky. It dresses up as confidence, but it actually hides fear. Fear of looking weak, fear of admitting you don't know, fear of starting over. Many people stop evolving because they believe they already know enough. They think asking for help is a sign of failure or changing their mind is a sign of weakness. But in reality, it's just the opposite. In the journey toward financial freedom and a full life, humility is one of the most valuable assets because it opens doors. It allows you to learn from mistakes, from others, from books, from your own stumbles. It allows you to invest better, plan smarter, and grow faster. Kiyosaki says the most dangerous person is the one who thinks they already know everything, because they stop listening. And when you stop listening, you freeze while the world keeps moving. With every ignored mistake, a learning opportunity is lost. With every piece of advice rejected out of pride, a new path is left unseen. So in 2025, trade I already know for what can I learn from this? Trade I don't make mistakes for what is this mistake trying to teach me? Robert Kiyosaki teaches that trust is one of the most valuable assets a person can have, and the hardest to recover once lost. Lying, no matter how small, is like cracking glass. At first it may look harmless, but the crack is there, and over time it spreads until everything breaks. In 2025, there's no room for shortcuts that sacrifice the truth. You might gain something temporarily by lying, hiding a debt, manipulating a situation, omitting a mistake, but in the end the cost doubles. Because what breaks isn't just a fact, it's trust. And without trust, there is no partnership. Without trust, no one invests in you. Without trust, even the best opportunities slip through your fingers. Kiyosaki always says that good businesses are built on credibility, integrity, and character. And that applies to money just as much as it does to family, professional, or personal relationships. The truth isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it hurts, makes you vulnerable, demands courage, but it sets you free. It builds strong bonds. It opens doors that lies never could. So this year, choose to be transparent. Admit when you're wrong. Speak with clarity. Honor your word even when no one is watching, because lies might seem like a quick fix, but honesty builds long-term freedom. Robert Kiyosaki often says, "What got you here won't get you there." And that phrase is a powerful warning to those stuck in the past, in old habits, former achievements, formulas that once worked but no longer serve. Many good people get stuck in time. They cling to an idea, a method, a past success, as if it would last forever. But the world changes, the economy changes, technology evolves, and those who don't evolve get left behind. It's like using an old map to reach a new destination. You might keep walking, but you'll lose your way. In 2025, living off the past is no longer viable. Holding on to it is like carrying dead weight. You get tired, frustrated, and go nowhere. Kiyosaki reinforces that the key to financial freedom lies in constant learning. And that takes humility, recognizing there's always something new to learn. Whether it's about investing, business, new skills, or even about yourself. It doesn't matter if you're 45, 55, or 65. If you're alive, you're still in the game. And while you're in the game, you can grow. So look ahead, update your mindset, be curious again. Read, ask, test, fail, learn. Don't be afraid to change course if the road is blocked, because those who insist on living the way they always have end up trapped in a time that no longer exists. And the truth is simple. Those who stop growing start shrinking. Robert Kiyosaki always says, opportunities aren't lost, they're just taken by someone else. And that phrase perfectly explains what happens when you make decisions with a narrow vision. How many times have you chosen the quickest path, the safest, the most familiar, just because it felt comfortable? But comfort is deceptive. It gives the illusion of safety, when in fact it can lead to stagnation. Choosing with limited vision is like driving at night with your headlights off. You're moving forward, but you can't see what's ahead. In 2025, that's more dangerous than ever. The world is changing at an insane speed. New ways to invest, new careers, new income streams, new skills are emerging every day. But closed minds don't see them. That's where what Kiyosaki calls the scarcity mindset comes in. It's when someone only sees what's directly in front of them, only considers one option, only accepts what's already familiar, and out of fear of the unknown, rejects opportunities that could change their life. People with a wealth mindset do the opposite. They analyze, question, seek to learn, open themselves to new things. Before making a decision, they ask, what are the alternatives? Is there another way to solve this? What am I failing to see? Because they know that a single right decision, made with a broader vision, can change everything. Maybe today you're standing at a crossroads. Keep working at that job that drains your energy, or learn a new skill that could give you freedom. Keep spending the little you have on non-essentials, or invest in something that will generate income in the future. Keep saying this isn't for me, or open your mind and try something new, even if you're afraid. Life is made of choices, but the choices you make are shaped by the vision you have. And if your vision is limited by fear, your past, or other people's opinions, then your destiny will be limited too. That's why in 2025, try asking a new question. What if there's a better option I haven't considered yet? Because sometimes all it takes is a change in perspective to see a new path. And a new vision can lead you to a destination that once seemed impossible. Robert Kiyosaki never gets tired of saying, "The poor buy liabilities, thinking they're assets. The rich build assets that pay their expenses." And that quote exposes a trap that millions fall into every year, living above their means to look good, instead of living below their means to build freedom. In 2025, the problem isn't a lack of money, it's how the money is used. People with high salaries who are deeply in debt, people who look successful but can't sleep in peace, people living paycheck to paycheck, tied to a lifestyle they can't afford. Why? Because they've confused status with freedom. They want to look rich when in truth they're enslaved by their own choices. Living beyond your means is like digging a deeper hole every month. You convince yourself you're in control, but slowly debt becomes routine, anxiety becomes your companion, and the future turns into a blur. You start working not to build something, but just to pay for the past. Kiyosaki teaches that the key to true wealth is living with less so you can invest more. It's about using the difference between what you earn and what you spend to buy freedom, not consumption. It's not about giving up life. It's about living with purpose. You don't need a brand new car if it traps you in a 60-month loan. You don't need to upgrade your phone every year just because everyone else does. You don't need to follow trends if they steal your peace. The irony is, the more you try to look rich, the poorer you become. And the more you build in silence, the freer you become. So in 2025, do things differently. Spend with awareness, avoid useless debts, learn to say no to the unnecessary, so you can say yes to your freedom. Because real wealth isn't about what you show, it's about what you have when no one's watching. Robert Kiyosaki often says, the greatest asset you have is you. And if you don't take care of yourself, all the other assets, money, businesses, investments, begin to lose value. The truth is, many people live as if they were indestructible. They wake up tired, but ignore it. They feel constant pain, but push through with painkillers. Their minds are overloaded, anxious, exhausted, yet they keep going as if nothing's wrong. But ignoring the signs doesn't make them go away. It makes them pile up. And when your body and mind can't take it anymore, the collapse comes, whether as illness, burnout, or a crisis that stops your entire life. So what's the point of working so hard, chasing goals, acquiring material things, if you don't even have the energy to enjoy any of it? Kiyosaki is clear. Taking care of your health isn't an expense, it's an investment. It gives you mental clarity to make good decisions. It gives you physical strength to keep building. It gives you emotional balance to stay afloat during challenges. In 2025, this must be a non-negotiable priority. Respect your limits. Take breaks, get good sleep, move your body. Eat consciously. Learn to say no to what drains you. Surround yourself with people and environments that bring peace, not exhaustion. Because collapse doesn't happen overnight. It's built quietly in the daily neglect of yourself. And remember, health is not a luxury, it's a foundation. It's the soil where you plant all your projects. You can lose money and recover. But if you lose yourself, the cost may be too high. Robert Kiyosaki makes this point clear. Good debt makes you richer. Bad debt enslaves you. And the truth is, most people don't use credit to invest. They use it to consume, and impulsive, unplanned consumption is like throwing gasoline on the fire of financial disorder. Credit cards look like allies, quick, convenient, full of perks. But many don't realize they can turn into silent enemies, slowly eating away at your budget month after month. Small installments are deceiving. Purchases made out of deserving it pile up. And before you know it, a large part of your salary is tied to past decisions made without thinking. Kiyosaki teaches that credit should only be used strategically, to buy an asset, to leverage a business, to generate returns. But using credit to buy clothes, vacations, electronics, anything that loses value as soon as you leave the store is digging your own financial prison. So in 2025, before you swipe that card, ask yourself honestly, do I need this, or am I just trying to soothe an emotion? Will this bring a return or just create more burden? Am I buying with intelligence, or am I being led by impulse? Remember, financial freedom isn't about how much you earn, it's about how you spend. Credit can be a powerful tool, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a trap. One poorly thought out debt today can delay your dreams by years. So think like an investor. Spend with purpose, use credit with strategy, and never forget, the rich control money, the poor let money control them. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that money alone solves nothing. It's just a tool, powerful, yes, but meaningless without direction. Many people enter the financial race wanting to earn more, have more, achieve more. But they don't know why. They don't know what for, and that's dangerous. Because when you don't have a clear purpose, anything can distract you. Any shiny thing can lead you off track. Any obstacle can make you give up. Living without purpose is like being in the middle of the ocean without a compass. You may be moving, but you're not getting anywhere. You work, pay bills, survive, but you still feel something is missing. And do you know what that is? Meaning. Kiyosaki talks a lot about personal mission. He believes that you only find true motivation when you connect your actions to something bigger than money. It could be the desire to give your family a better life. It could be the freedom of time to travel. It could be the wish to teach, to build something, to leave a legacy. In 2025, you need to pause and reflect. Why do I want to achieve financial freedom? What truly drives me? What's the cause that's worth my effort, my discipline, my sacrifices? When your purpose is strong, procrastination loses its grip. Distractions lose their appeal, and decisions become much simpler, because those who live with purpose don't sell themselves for just anything, and those who know where they're going never get lost along the way. And here's something even more important. Do you know someone who's stuck in the same routine, making the same mistakes, complaining about life and not knowing where to start? Then share this video with that person. It could be a friend, a relative, a co-worker, someone who just needs a push to wake up and start changing their life. Here, we're building a community that thinks differently, that refuses to live on autopilot, and wants real freedom, financial, emotional, and spiritual. So subscribe to the channel now, turn on notifications, and join us. There's a lot of content coming that can transform the way you think and the way you live. See you in the next video. And until then, choose to leave the crowd, choose to grow, choose to change.